Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is the 6th video tutorial about the crazy twister, which turns the evolution process upside down, giving you unique waves. In the beginning, I'll briefly explain the basics, then I'll show you the settings, and finally I'll go into details that you are aware how the crazy twister influences the calculations and affects the printed results. Please subscribe to this channel, click the bell to be notified, and let's get started. During the quick start tutorial we created the Gene 2.3 folder, and at first we go to the user guide and through the content menu in the introduction is chapter what is new, and the crazy twister is a third new feature of the Gene 2.3. Scrolling down, you can see here the basic description of the crazy twister, like here, and then the complete chapter is on this link. We can get to this chapter through the function and 4.13 crazy twister, and the principle is really simple. It's about to make the evaluation and the generation as weak as possible. It means that with the twister we can search for the weakest wave which we can get, so we can search for the worst luck you can have, and then we can expect that in the future the luck will change to some positive things, to have some matches, to have some good results. So we are searching with the weakest wave with minimum matches and then expecting that it will be better, and it goes from nature or from real life. So it's just if something goes for a long period of time in a bad way and you can know it from your life, then it definitely will change into some better days. And this is what we want to catch up with this crazy twister. So there is a new input box called twister, and to activate it for the particular drawing day we just put number 1 and then it's marked by the black dot and the twister is applied. Here we applied for the first and second drawing previous day, and for the third day was nothing applied. So it means if the number 1 is there, twister is on. If there is 0 or empty cell like here, the twister is off. And now you can see how it's affected. So if you have no matches, the maximum you can have 6, the minimum 0, then the 0 matches are twisted to maximum value, which is in this case 6, and by average it gets the value 6, which is the maximum possible. If you will get 6 matches here, it will be twisted to 0. So we are excluding the strong waves and prioritizing the weak waves. Then if the twister is not applied, then the number remains still the same, like we have 3 here and it still is 3. So if I look here, so twisted number 6 is 0. If we twist number 5 we get 1, 4 we get 3, and 4 we get 2, and 3 is still 3. So it's like an axis for the twister, and number 1 is twisted to 5, number 2 to 4, and 3 remains. So when I scroll down, then there is a link to value calculations, which I want to explain at the end of this video, because now it's time to show the basic settings. So I go now into the Gene. It's best to open the copy from the activated original lottery number 1. I open that in advance, and at first we should go through the primary settings where we select the language, we keep English, we select the scheme, then for today I'll just use the Fantasy 5 with just one drawing machine, the generator number 2, and we keep the rating by average, that it's easy for you to see how the values are changed and calculated. And now we are ready to print the interface for the gene and to make the secondary settings where the twister is already present. So in the previous 5th video tutorial I described the upper and lower filter, which is now called the double filter. Then we have the input box for the twister, and there is an input box for the previous drawing days. For today we just used 3 previous drawing days, and now we can just start with the twister. So as I said before, just one means to activate it, and you can see it's marked here by the black dot. I can do it for the 2nd drawing day, and we can leave it empty for the 3rd drawing day, or you can use just 0. In both cases the twister is not activated. If you use something different like number 2 from 1 or 0 and try to start it, it will cause an error. Or if you use some letter like R, it's still remaining the error. So in this case I'll make it empty, trying to make a start, and everything is correct right here. So this is the settings, and let's run the gene for a while that we can see the results. So I will copy the last previous drawn numbers from previous 3 days, and we can start it. Now you can see the red string is moving because it's not influenced by the twister at all. These are the online results, and then here is the best result, just marked by the green curve. I just pause it for a while and let's see how the results looks. So this is the result number 2, and we got no matches, but as they were twisted, because the maximum you can have is number 5, and by average like here, so it's twisted to value 5, and the final number 1, if the twister will be applied, it will be twisted to number 4, but in this case, as twister is not applied, it's just a number 1. So let's continue to run it, and I'll make it a little bit faster for now, and I'll come back to results later. So I would expect now the speed will be about, let's see how it will increase. So the speed is now around 15,000 cycles per second. So I leave it like it is here, and I'll come back to user guide. And as I mentioned, now I want to show how the crazy twister is influencing the calculations and the printed results. So the calculations are in the chapter 4.8.3 value calculations, which is under the 4.8 chaos and order chapter. And this I explained in the 4th tutorial, where all the calculations are described in the details, but now I will focus mainly on the calculations or effects done by twister, so it will be a little bit shorter and focused on the crazy twister. So we can go like here or just here, and let's scroll down. So you can see the final value is affected if the order or disorder is selected. Then it's affected by the rating, which type of rating is selected, and finally if the twister is off or on. So there are different formulas for the twister is off or on if the disorder is selected, and also different formula if the order is selected. So twister is off or on. Then in the example I will show, we are using 4 matches where in total are 4, but 2 of them are not drawn in the right order and 2 of them are drawn in the right order. Then the rating goes into game. It means if we have 6 types of rating from just the value, we call it by average, and then it's squared, exponential, factorial, x powered by x, and by probability. And this is from the softest, from the x to the hardest to by probability. And the rating basically works if you have one match with just x is equal to the value is 1. But if we use, for example, squared, then if you have 4 matches, it's not only 4 anymore, but it's squared. We are getting 16, which is much higher than to have 4 different ones in different columns. And the hardest, if by probability, it's even much more higher, which is more than 2000 the value. And here you can see in the table, if you have the amount of matches for the first draw and for the second draw machine, let's say, then you can have the sum. And if you have 0 matches, you have value 0. If you have 4 matches, you have value 4. If it's square, then 4 matches is 16, 3 matches is 9. And if you can see, there are repeating like a diagonal line axis, and this is also the axis for the twister. So it means if you have 4 matches, then it's twisted according to this axis. It is mirrored to 0, and the 1 is mirrored to 3, the 3 is mirrored to 1, and 2 remains still 2. And the same you can observe here if it's squared or like this. So this value is twisted to this value is twisted to this value, and this value remains. So now here you can see the values, they are calculated, and if the twister is off, then you can see that it's calculated, for example, the maximum value when we count all the 4 matches, so the order is not considered. Then with 4 matches we have value 4. I now split the screen. So there are 4, 16 and so on. And when I scroll down, and here is the twister is on. So let's see. So here is the twister on, and I will move a little bit up, a little bit down, so to show this so here you can see the twister is off, and then there are standard values, but when it's on, it's completely twisted, so the maximum value is changed to the minimum value. And there are effects if there is some portion of the order numbers and so on, but this doesn't need to go into details. That if you have time, you can watch the 4th video tutorial about chaos and order, or you can study these results in the user guide. So all is described here, and that's all what you need, and that you are not confused by the results and by the values what you can see in the gene. Now I'll come back to the running gene and to see some results, and we got some better result. And let's make compare. So the result number 5 is the best one, and here you can see that we got the maximum values, which was twisted to 5, and then when it was not twisted is value 4, and it remains 4. So in practice, the maximum value is still to wait to reach also 5 hits like here, and we can have such kind of banded wave. So this is how this works. And before I finish, I'd like to give you one tip, which I want you to try it and to bring some observations and something you can also share with others in our Wave Hunters group. I will do something like this. So I transfer the value, and you could see it was very easy to get the zeros in the beginning with just 3 previous days. But now I will reset this, and I'll put there also the twister for the final thing, a drawing day. And you can see to get the best results was really very fast. We have everywhere the maximum value 5 and the average is 5. There is nothing more you can achieve higher unless you use the gate, so you can have more results than with value 5, because this is the second result. To have more, I can put 99. So now we are getting more results with all the zeros here. So it's very simple, it's really growing right here. So it's I just end it, make just compare, and so let's click compare. Yes, that will not show anything because it shows the value 0 like here, but the final value is 5. And the tip is to find the length of the history that you are still capable to get the best results with all zeros. But let's say to find the limit that it's not so easy to find it, but still you are capable to find it. Let's say within a few hours or within 1 day that you get at least 1 result. And please note this length of the history, and you can use it then in your future for the future generations. And this limit assure you that you will get the complete wave with all the zeros. But after all, I would recommend to put the future loss at least something like 5. And if you have the bad luck, for example 30 previous drawing days or 10 previous drawing days or 50, I don't know what the limit is, then you can expect that the future 5 new drawing days will be much better, and there should be some really interesting and high valued results. So this is the tip. I want to encourage you to test it, to try it, and to share it with me, also with others in the Wave Hunter groups. And that's all for now. I thank you for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.